wanna learn, put your mind to it.
It always seems impossible until it is done. Do you know who said that? Our former president, our former president, Nelson Mandela. So you gotta listen to him, right? Okay, boom. Okay, today we'll be doing, what are we doing? Today we'll be doing present value. The other day, what we were doing was future value. So of course, this week, today, we have to do present value. So what is present value? Present value is to do with loans, a business loan, paying off your mortgage, a loan to get your dream car. If you like a Porsche, and Audi TT though, you might have to get a loan for that because that's the one, that's my car right there. So let's write the formula for present value. Let's show what the formula looks like. The formula looks as such. P is equal to, it's very similar, it's a little similar to the future value formula, except there's a couple small little differences, like the negative sign over here, and the negative sign that is in the exponent of n. Over I. This I is still the same. So what are the values? What things don't you know in this equation? P. What is P? P stands for present value. That's the present value, right? That's the amount that's outstanding. Basically, that's what P is. And N is the number of payments that's remaining. Last time it was just number of payments. But now it's the number of payments that are remaining. So let's say after 2 years, it's a five-year duration loan, right? And then they ask you, how much does he still have? How much does he still owe after 2 years? So what you do is, you don't just say 2 times 12, let's say if it's monthly. No, because N is the number of payments remaining. So you say 2 times 13. That's how you would find 2 times 12, Sorry. So you wouldn't just say 12 times 2 because for 2 years. No, because since N is the number of payments remaining, you would say 12 times 3, which would be the number of payments remaining because he has 3 years remaining. Okay, so this will be remaining payments, okay, or outstanding payments, or whatever you want to call it, right? So basically that's the formula. All the other variables you already know. Make sure when you're writing your formula, you do not mistaken that there is a negative in front of the n. There is a negative behind the number of payments remaining. That's why it's negative, because it's the number of payments remaining. It's decreasing. Okay? So now let's do an example so that you can understand what I'm talking about. Okay, example 1. My example 1 reads, Tembi takes a loan of 300,000 to buy her dream car, a Merc. I would have bought an old Audi TT, but anyways, the loan is to be paid off by equal amounts, monthly payments, over the next 10 years. If the interest rates of is 11% compounded monthly, calculates Tembi's monthly payments and money outstanding after 6 years. Right? So this is the question. So now where do we start? We start by calculating, by writing down the formula, right? So, okay, so that's my formula. I've written my formula down. So now in my formula, what do I know, right? What do I know? I know that, what is P? What is the present value? The present value was 300,000, right? That's the value of the loan. That's the amount the loan is that's outstanding. So 300,000, so I'll write that down. This is question A. So 300,000 is equal to, okay, so what am I looking for? The question said, what is the monthly installment or monthly repayment? X is what I'm looking for. So I'll write X as a variable and leave it like that. So it'll be 1 minus 1 plus. What is the interest rate? The interest rate is 11% compounded monthly. So this will be 0.11 over
12 to the power of. Now again, in the beginning of the loan, how many payments does she still have remaining? All of them. How many is all of them? All of them is 12 times 10. Okay, if you look at this, what am I?
Some of you keep hearing people saying you have to work smart, you have to work smart, but you don't actually know what it means to work smart. Working smart is like studying the things that are most likely going to come out in your exams rather than the whole textbook. Some of the stuff in that textbook that are irrelevant, that are not testable. So how do I find out what is likely to come out in an exam? I'll go and look at past papers. I'll go and I listen to when the teacher says this is likely to come out in an exam. I go and look at the questions that I've seen before. All that type of stuff is what helps you to study smart instead of just studying hard.
Am I missing something? Yes, I'm missing the negative sign. So do not forget the negative sign. It is very important. It will change your answer by a huge number. It will be completely wrong. Sorry, I forgot my I at the bottom there. So my I at the bottom is still 0.11 over 12. So now looking at my equation, it looks a little bit complex, doesn't it? It looks a little complex. But this is a very straightforward question and it's very likely to come out in your paper. So I would suggest you understand what I'm saying. I would suggest get your paper, get your pen, write down what I'm talking about. Right? Go back a little bit and look at the question again. Right? So now, what do? I multiply both sides by the denominator. So I have 300,000 multiplied by 0.11 over 12 is equal to x1 minus 1 plus 0.11 over 12 to the power of negative 12 times 10, negative 120. Right? So what's the variable that I'm looking for? It's x. There's no other variable in this equation except for x. So what do? How do I get x to be by himself? I divide x by this whole thing. So I divide both sides by this whole thing. So what do? Don't calculate it on its own separately. Don't calculate this and then calculate that and then divide. No. Put this whole thing in your calculator. So my whole thing will be x is equal to. So x is equal to 300,000 multiplied by 0.11 over 12 divided by 1 minus 1 plus 0.11 over 12 power of negative 120. Right? So what you're putting in your calculator is this whole thing here. That whole thing must go in your calculator so that you see what the answer is. So what will you get out of that? If you divide, so what do? I put in my calculator. My final answer, which I get, is x is equal to my answer is 4,132.50 cents, right? That's my, what is that? What is it? What was the question looking for? What is the monthly installment? So this is my monthly payment. So he makes this much amount. For him to make that the loan, for him to pay back that loan in turn, for her to pay back, for Tembi to pay back that loan in 10 years, she has to make these monthly payments, right? So that's it. That's the first part. The second part, B, is money outstanding, right? Money outstanding. So it says how much money is outstanding after 6 years. That's the key concept right there, the outstanding. The outstanding, what does it mean? It means that what you change, what do you change? You change what N is. And N is not equal to 6 times 12. No, it is not the number of years that it has already gone through. It's how much is being still owed. How much is left over? How much that she still has to pay? How much does she still have to pay, right? She still has to pay for 4 years. So it will be 4 times 12. That would be what your N would be. So let's write it down. Let's see what it gives us, right? So again, write down your formula first. Right now I'm running out of space. So write down your formula first. So in your formula, P, do we know what P is? No, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for money outstanding. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for P. So P is equal to, right? and x. Do we know what x is? No, we do not know what. Do we know what x is? Yes, we do. We know what x is. That's what we just calculated above. It's 4132.50. Right? So now we have that, right? What's the next thing? What's the next thing in our formula? 1 minus 1 plus I. What's the interest rate? The interest rate has not changed. Other questions, it might change. But in this question, it does not change. So it's still 0.11 over 12 to the power of. Now that's the tricky. This part, yeah, the only trick in this whole question is the n. So what did I say about the n? The n is, let me write it down on the side for you. N is equal to 10 times 12 minus 6 times 12, which gives me 48. So it's 48 remaining pay. Whoa. Payments. So Tembi has 48 payments that she still has to make after 6 years. So if you look at my formula, this will always work. So it will be 10 times 12, which is the total number of payments, minus the number of payments that she has made, which is for 6 years. So she has made 6 times 12, 6 payments already. Okay, so now what do I do? Now I put what value I have. It's 48. But then again, it's not just 48, it's negative 48. Do not forget that. It's very important. So now my interest rate at the bottom. And once I have this, the question is done. It's easy now. Now I've just gotten my free marks. I literally just got free marks right here. Do not miss your free marks, because you might get a question that's harder than this one here, and you don't know how to do that one. So at least be able to do this one here, right? Practice, practice, practice. Okay, so the final answer after I put it to the calculator, what I get is 159,892.30. So what does that mean? It means that the amount that she still owes, or that's still remaining, is 159,892.30 rand. Do not forget your units. It's in rands. That's how much she still owes. So I probably would not suggest getting a loan to buy a car, because as you can see, this is after 10 years. She still owes this. And anyways, who keeps their car for more than 10 years? Just play. Just play. If it's your dream car, of course. But still, that's still a large amount to still be owing on a car. So anyways, yeah, that's it. That's the final answer. Okay, another thing that I want to quickly talk about is loan payments that are delayed. Like, they trick you into thinking that it's a great deal when they say you don't have to start the first 3 months. No, that is not a deal. That's a bad thing, because when your money is in that, when the loan is still there, it's still increasing in value because it's gaining interest, right? So you'll be owing more by the time it actually starts. So this is if a loan starts 3 months later, right? The loan will be gaining interest. That's what I was talking about. It will be gaining interest. So you will no longer owe, let's say, 300,000. No, you'll be owing 300,000 plus the interest it gained over the 2 months or however long you didn't pay for, right? Yeah, so basically that's it. It even works, not even at the beginning also. It also works in the middle. So if you miss a payment, it will still gain interest. It's not going to stop just because you missed the payment. The interest will still be gaining. So the number of money, the amount of money you have to pay will be more. So yeah, that's it on present value.